Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I wanted to talk about some perks and multiverses that I see people using pretty often, but they are actually really not helping your character at all in many cases. And then after I show you guys which perk is actually useless in 1v1s, I'm going to give you guys a replacement. So be sure to stick around till the end of the video to see which perk I recommend to use instead. And I'll actually teach you guys some new tech. Now, the perks I'm going to be talking about are these damaging ones, and this is mainly in 1v1s where you cannot take advantage of the stacked bonus. The stacked bonus is more worth it for 2v2s, but basically I'll just show you guys the testing and how to really determine for yourself if it's worth it to use these at all, because in many cases it's really not. So let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Now, be sure to like and subscribe as well. I will be posting more Multiversus content. The game came out recently, and I'm not a pro player. I'm a content creator. So I have just been grinding and practicing many different techniques I found through the different Discord servers and whatnot, as well as combos. I want to get my game really up there before I post a ton of tips and tricks, guides, and stuff like that. But I wanted to post this video because I do see people making this mistake so often, and that is using just a single one of these damaging perks. And let me go ahead and just explain to you guys why this is not worth using in 1v1s. So it's pretty simple. I'm just going to show you guys some testing. So I have Jake, and obviously we got ShaggyBot. So I'm going to use Jake's neutral ground, and I full charged it, by the way, and you can see it did 12 damage. He starts at 50, and he goes to 62. That does 12 damage, right? So let's go ahead and just equip Wildcat Brawler, just one singular 5% bonus. And let's go ahead and see what happens. And you can see nothing happens. 50 to 62, it still does 12 damage. Exactly, and that's with a damage perk equipped. Now let's go ahead and equip a second damage perk, Snowball Effect. And you can see we got one damage bonus. So we went from 50 to 63. We got one damage bonus with two perks equipped, and that's 12% bonus damage. Now, let me unequip this and actually equip. Let's just do, or you know what, that's fine. Anyways, one other thing I want you guys to know about Snowball Effect is it does seem to take your health into account. So let's put my health higher than Shaggy's. I'm 55, he's 50. And you can see we go back to 12 damage. So keep that in mind with Snowball Effect, that your health actually does have to be lower than the enemy's. You can see when our health is lower, we get back to 13 damage. Now, what exactly is going on here that we have to have two damage perks equipped to even just get one damage bonus out of a fully charged attack? And it's just simple math, guys. And let me show you guys how to calculate it. So obviously, this is 5% bonus. This is 7% bonus for a total of 12%. My fully charged hit does 12 damage. Let's just multiply that by 1.12. And you can see that gives us 13.44 damage. So what that means is if we do 100% divided by that 12%, all of our hits that do at least 8.3 damage gets one bonus damage. And that's while our effects are active. So what that means is any hit, like for example, a neutral side punch, which only does 3 damage, this is getting virtually no bonus from these effects. See what I mean? Now, I have noticed that the game does add decimals onto it, so you can see that like every third or fourth hit does get that one damage bonus. 3, 6, and then you can see we did get that one damage bonus after a couple hits. But my point being that for every 8.3 damage, and this is with two perks active. So like you can kind of see how it's not really adding much damage versus a skill like Collateral Damage. Here's a skill Collateral Damage, which literally adds an additional damage every time you knock them on a floor or ceiling. Now, obviously, this isn't useful for many characters, but for like Jake, who can do the skateboard, Collateral Damage adds a bonus damage each time I smack him off the floor. Now, the point here is that if you're only using one 5% damage bonus in 1v1s, it's absolutely not worth it, in my opinion, ever. Now, in 2v2s, Another thing to take note of is if you're playing randoms, for example, and you have a random teammate, if you see them using a lumpy space punch, I highly recommend, or a wildcat brawler, or whatever, I highly recommend stacking this bonus with them, because the 5% alone is not worth it, and they might not know that. So to get the 10% in 2v2s, it's actually gonna be more worth it. And I just kind of wanted to show some of this stuff because I often, when I'm playing 1v1s, I'll see someone with like triple jump equipped, and then maybe they'll have one random defensive perk. Obviously, imagine they're using something better. But then I'll notice they just have something like Lumpy Space Punch or Wildcat Brawler or Up in a Sleigh. And even, let's go ahead, let me equip 3 damage perks. This, and Up in a Sleigh. So this is a total of 17% damage bonus when I'm less health than Shaggy. And let me even show you, on my fully charged hit, it's still only doing 63% damage. Now let me do, this is enemies upward, this is enemies horizontally. Let's just test both, just in case. Yeah, you can see it's still only 13 damage. So with 3 damaging perks equipped, on my fully charged strongest attack on Jake, I'm only getting 1 damage bonus. Doesn't seem very worth it, does it? Now that we got that out of the way, and I kind of showed you guys how to do the math, let me go ahead and tell you guys which perk I actually highly recommend. I think it's a little bit underrated in my opinion, and that is Fancy Footwork, which gives you increased dodge distance. So what this means is when you dodge, you're going to move 5% further. Now the reason why I recommend this perk is because of something called dodge cancel attacking, where you can dodge and then kind of cancel it mid-dodge and swing and attack. You can do this with multiple attacks. Just to show you, you can see I'm dodging into that hit. You can even do it with your down neutral. And you can even do it mid-air on some characters. Just mess around with it. This is kind of an advanced technique, but what this does is 2 things. Number 1, if my opponent swings at me, I can dodge while simultaneously hitting. Right? But number 2, and this is more advanced, is it actually closes the gap further when you're trying to, be really aggressive and hunt down an enemy. When I play Jake, I like to be very aggressive and apply pressure at all times, even if they are an aggressive character as well. And then also while just being a defensive perk, because it can allow you to move further out of hits that like to punish dodges as well. It doesn't always get out of the hits, but, it's a little bit defensive as well as actually very offensive. Now, I'm going to link a video to a Shaggy wave stomp that someone shared with me that kind of taught me how to dodge cancel hit. Because this is a little bit of an advanced technique, but it can allow you, it has upped my game doing this. Because I've gotten in hits that I probably shouldn't have. Just using dodge cancel attacking. There's also a technique to move across the map faster, where you hold down and then you hold the direction you want to move in, and you jump like, oh, oops, that's not my dodge button. You jump like this, and you can see, I'm not the best at it, and I'm still practicing this one, but it actually gets you through the map faster. So an enemy like a Tom and Jerry running away from you to spam projectiles, you can actually chase him down and apply insane pressure with movement like this. And like I said, I'm still practicing, so I will include some videos about dodge cancel attacking. Maybe I'll make another video specifically on this in the future, but I recommend trying out Fancy Footwork for those of you who want to up your game a little bit more and using this technique instead of those damaging ones, because applying more pressure to your enemy, not only is this a little bit defensive, but you can be very offensive with dodge distance. Now, keep in mind, I'm specifically talking about dodge distance. Of course, these other dodge perks like Slippery Customer is fine, but Slippery Customer's purely defensive, whereas dodge distance can be used to also apply that forward pressure because you can actually approach them much quicker. So yeah, I just wanted to go over damage perks because I do see people making that mistake very often. Keep in mind, like I said, it's never worth it to just use one singular damage perk in 1v1s, and even when you stack them, like even when we get this 12% bonus, you're only getting 1 damage for every 8.3. So is it really still worth it? Kind of, not really. That's up to you to decide. And then once again, if you're in 2v2s with a random teammate and you see them have randomly one equipped, you probably want to pair another Lumpy Space Punch with them now that you know this. So keep that in mind. I hope this helped you guys out a lot. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Like I said, I am honing my skills right now, but I will be posting tons of Multiversus content in the future. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.